right, I have Dan Dubuque on the show now, who's going to be taking on Nate Ghareeb next for the vacant 145-pound title on September the 9th at CES 70. Dan, how are you?
Good, man. How about you?
I'm good. It's nice to talk to you again. And I just first want to start with this opportunity. Obviously, this is a big deal. CES, a monster promotion, one of the best regional promotions in the country, no doubt about it. What were your emotions like when you first found out that you're going to get this title opportunity?
I was pumped. Like you said, it's one of the best regional promotions. A lot of guys have gone on to the UFC from it, and I lost split decision the last time I had the title fight for them, and that's had a sour taste in my mouth. So for me to get the opportunity again, it was awesome, and and try to close it out this time.
What did you learn from that fight with Bruce?
I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, we went back and forth. It was super, super close. I definitely thought I did enough to win. I think I don't think I learned too much. We kind of had a good read on his style and stuff like that. I think I probably could have fought a little bit smarter. I thought even my corner, who's usually real conservative, they had told me that I was up 3-1 going into the last round. They usually usually really on the conservative side. So, I thought in my head that I was doing the right things, and I think I could have made a couple of different small adjustments that would have sealed it up for me.
Did you expect to get another shot at the title so soon? I mean, you've only been in there with tough fighters, right? But you are on a 3-fight losing streak technically. Did that ever cross your mind that, you'd get a shot this soon, or did you feel like you have to string together a couple more wins before getting another crack at it?
I thought for sure I'd have to string together a couple more wins. But the problem with regional, Northeast MMA right now is that people don't go out and look for tough fights, and I do that every single time I fight. I've never accepted a fight with a guy with a losing record from the start. Every time I've signed the contract, the guy has had a winning record, and the only times I fought a guy that had a losing record were on a last minute replacement if my original opponent dropped out. So I seek out these hard fights, these challenges, and I didn't think I'd get offered this, but it kind of fell in my lap because a few people had turned it down, so they were looking for somebody, and I wasn't about to turn that down. I don't turn these types of fights down.
And I love that answer too, because I do feel like there's a select few guys that I know for sure will always step in and take the tough fights. And I know some other guys that I'm not going to name names, but, might want to pad their records or take easier fights. Who else do you feel like in the New England area is kind of like you? Well, they'll just step up. They'll fight anyone. They want the toughest fights to kind of go in there and prove themselves.
I mean, when I think about that type of stuff, I think back to like OGs of the sport. Or like I say OGs now, but they're not too far removed. But like someone like a Pedro Gonzalez, I always had a ton of respect for him. The dude fought all studs, and then he went over to Muay Thai and fought. I forgot which one it was, but it was like it was a Muay Thai world champion as well. At Lion fights, he had a bunch of wins at Lion fights and fought a world champion. Like he's one that I always remember, looking up to as this dude's just like a beast. He'll fight anybody, anywhere. There's a few other guys. Ryan Sanders is still active, and he does the same. He does the same. So guys like that. Those are two like just off the top of my head.
Yeah, a couple of great names right there. Well, tell me, how has camp been thus far? I mean, the fight is 5 days away, so it's almost here. How are you feeling?
I feel great, man. I'm cranky as fuck right now, to be honest, man. So if that comes through, I apologize, but I'm just. The dieting, like once fight week starts technically like officially today, this is like, the last hard training day was yesterday. And today is just like the calories drop a little more. The training it's not as physical, but it's still intense, and you feel like shit, tired, weak. You just want the fight to be here. Got to make this weight. So the fight week fucking sucks, man. And I do this because I like those challenges. I like to be in there fight night. Like I don't want to get in there, and I'm not always looking to just get in there and get out. A quick knockout would be fantastic. But I love that chess match. I'd love to have it, be a battle. And the stuff leading up to it, I don't really enjoy too much. This lack of calories and stuff like that. So can't
Oh,
get in there.
of course. Well, I must say, I mean, we had some technical issues before the interview started, just, getting into the actual Zoom meeting. And I didn't notice any frustration at all. So you're doing well. I'll tell you real quick. I can't remember what fight it was, but I was in the sauna at the old Young's MMA gym with Ryan Sanders as he was cutting weight, getting ready for a fight. And I was trying to joke around with him a little bit. And I thought he was going to punch me. So you're doing much, much better than him, my friend.
Yeah.
I do have to ask, obviously, this is for the featherweight championship. So what's the weight at right now? How close are you?
Oh, I cannot divulge. I cannot.
Is it close though, or are you getting close down to?
No,
No.
no,
So making
no,
featherweight's not easy for you.
no, it's not. I mean, I made 135 before that. That almost killed me. But no, it's not that bad, man. It's just it's part of the game. I wouldn't say it's something so crazy compared to other guys. It's just part of the game now. So when I went up to 155, and I fought, Jacob. I have a couple wins at 55. I beat Jimmy Manning and murdered him, and I felt good in that one. But like when I fought Jacob Bone, the dude just smothered me, and he didn't let me. I'm more of a striker. He didn't let me get any strikes off. Really, every round he was smothering me, and he just wore on me. We had a 5-round title fight, so it was 25 minutes of just wearing him as a backpack pretty much. And that was like, I'm like, fuck, this is where I realized where that extra 10 pounds of cutting weight comes into play, is that, in the second round, I was more tired than most of the fights at any fight I've ever been in, really, actually. And I've got some of the best cardio there is. So that was like, just that 10 pounds is a huge difference. So I'm not like killing myself. I've had way bigger cuts than this one, but it's just a shitty process. Everybody's got to go through it. So,
All right. Well, as far as getting to this point in camp, like who has been around you this camp? Who have been your main training partners?
I got a lot of guys actually that I've been training with for a long time that have just popped in and popped out. I was at a couple gyms that ended up closing their doors over the last 2 gyms I was at. I ended up closing, so it was kind of unfortunate. So both times I was with the group of guys that I enjoyed being around, and then kind of had to. Well, we all went our separate ways just because of location and stuff like that. So a lot of them have been coming through. I trained with Kenny Champion, who's fighting on the card. Will Smith, who's a 35er. Kurt Chase Patrick, who's big into jits now, but he's still a good wrestler and good training partner. Nick Newell, I've trained a lot with him. So and Mike Antidormi, who's an amateur that's coming up, that's going to be an absolute stud, man. He's gonna. I can almost guarantee he's going to the UFC as long as he keeps it up. But he's another one of my main training partners.
Remind me again, how old is Kenny Champion?
Is 52.
Is he 52?
No, he's like, I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking with him. I think he's 42.
I was gonna say he's like the Tom Brady of the New England fight scene. I mean, he's 42 and still looks like he's 32 and just carved out of stone.
Chiseled, man. This dude always stays chiseled, even after a fight. He's just ripped. So, yeah.
How healthy are you feeling right now? Does your body feel as good as it normally can at this point?
Yeah, I actually feel a lot better than I expected to at this age, and for the way I've been pushing and training and stuff like that. Feel real good. I think we've been training smart. Another one too, my coach Rob Cipriano, who's been with me for every fight in my corner for combined with amateur Muay Thai and MMA and pro MMA, 30 fights. So we've been getting a lot of work with him too, and we've been training smarter. So it's going well.
And you're 8-5 right now as a professional mixed martial artist. What are the goals moving forward for you, Dan? Like, what is it you're hoping to accomplish? How long do you want to stick around and do this?
I for the first time I really have no idea. I wasn't even sure I was going to fight again. I had a neck injury. It's been nagging me for a couple of years now. I had a few split decision losses that were really tough because you swing those the other way, and now I'm 9-2, 10-2 instead of 8-4, 8-5, whatever. There's the whole trajectory could have changed, but this opportunity here puts me in a spot where I win one, maybe I defend, and then maybe I'm in discussion again for being on contender, maybe getting into the UFC. I know I'm older, but you never know. So what I think if I had padded my record and gotten 3, 4 easy wins along the way, 5 wins along the way, now I'm 12-5, 13-5, and if I get this one, it looks totally different. So my record's a little bit deceiving, and it haunts me pretty much daily that I have those losses. I'm not good with I hate losing, period. And so I'm gonna try to right the ship right here.
What's that work training life balance like for you right now? Are you working or are you just training full time?
No, I work too, and I have a career. That's another thing too, is that I put my all into this in terms of I still get my rounds and believe that, but I have a career. Like if I don't have anything really. I do this for fun. If this doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world for me. I just love to do it. I love the actual fight itself. I don't always love the training. And there's some guys that just love being in the gym. That's not really. I enjoy some of the training, but more or less the fight is what gets me going. I love that part of it. I love sparring, MMA sparring. I hate doing fucking jujitsu techniques. I don't want to drill triangles and arm bars 97,000 times. Obviously that's how you get good at it, but that type of stuff just gets boring to me. I like to I like to fight, and that's it. So, um, I I have my job, and I train before 5 a.m. a few days a week, and then I go back at night, and then the rest of the week I train either only early in the morning or late at night. So I'm doing like 4 2-a-days, 3 or 4 2-a-days a week, and then 2 or 3 just 1-a-days.
And fairly recently you got married, so congratulations there. Obviously that has to get, you got to put some time in for that too, for your new wife, and I have to imagine maybe a family around the corner. Where did you guys go on your honeymoon, and how supportive is she of all the time away that you have to be to get ready for this fight?
We just went to Newport. We were supposed to go to freaking Asia. We were supposed to go to Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, and COVID, they shut it down. They weren't letting people in, so we did a switch. We just went to Newport, but we're still looking to go to Asia either early next year or the following end of next year, I guess. But she's supportive for the most part. She doesn't love it. My mother doesn't love it. My family doesn't quite love it, but they're always in my corner, and they do a lot to support me.
That's fantastic, man. Well, congratulations on all the personal success. Let's dive right into this matchup with Nate. Again, CES 70, September the 9th. It's at the MGM Casino in Springfield, Massachusetts. How far is that from where you live? And are you going to have a lot of support there come fight night?
Yeah, it's about an hour, and I sold almost all my tickets, and I got people that are contacting me and ordering online. So yeah, I got a good amount going. It's about an hour.
He's 6-1. 5 of his 6 wins are finishes. And I interviewed him about a week ago, and I don't want to say that he was dismissive of you, but he felt like he was just going to be able to beat you wherever the fight goes. What do you feel like of his skill set? I have to imagine your take on it is very different.
Yeah, I mean, I respect him. I've trained with him before. I think he's very, very skilled everywhere. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's very technical. Everything, striking, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I just think I'm more of a dog than him, flat out. If he thinks that he's going to come in there and dominate, then he better get it done quick, because if he lets that fight go on and on, I'm going to be there all 25 minutes. I've showed that in multiple fights. He's gone 15 once, I think, or twice, I guess. I've gone 15 minutes 10 times, 25 minutes twice. Like I'm still going to be there, in his face. So I respect his game. I think he's I've seen some of the things he's saying. I think he's greatly underestimating me and overlooking me based off the fact that I haven't fought in a couple of years and I'm coming off a couple losses. So I think that I think he's going to find out the hard way that he shouldn't have underestimated me.
It sounds like what you're saying too. Like if this fight goes into deep waters and you guys get into the championship rounds and it comes down to maybe who has more heart, that you're going to get your hand raised.
I'd like to think so. I do hang my hat on those types of things: toughness, heart, cardio. So I know I would say I would agree he's probably more skilled than me in several areas, in more of the areas, but I think there's things that you can't measure. Then I think that will lead me to get my hand raised.
How do you see this fight ending? Do you think that you're going to have to win a decision, or do you feel like maybe you can get him out of there?
Yeah, I think I can get him out of there, but I don't really predict that. It's Everybody says the same shit, and it sounds corny going in there. "Oh, I'm gonna finish him. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." Nobody fucking knows, really. There's very rare when you can accurately predict exactly how a fight's gonna go. So I don't even, what do I think? I think he's gonna shoot on me. I think my stand-up's better. I don't think he's gonna try to just stand there and bang with me. I think that's a bad idea for him. Um, if he wants to prove that he's a better striker, I would love for that. I would welcome that. But I think that he's going to be shooting early and really just trying to take me down constantly.
And Dan, you've had some big fights before, but at this stage of your career, would you say that this is the biggest and most important fight that you've had?
I don't think so. I think this is, when I fought Bruce, like I said, I was 8-2. Chance to get the CES title belt, moved to 9-2. And now we're 3 years ago. I'm a little younger, and I've been, whatever, 30, whatever, 3 years ago, maybe 33 years old, and 9-2 off a 5-fight win streak. I think that I would almost automatically have gone to contender or maybe into the UFC. I think there wouldn't have been much to argue against that. I think for sure contender. And it didn't go my way. COVID hit. I got injured. All this stuff happened, and and here we are. So I think that fight was a lot bigger for me. Had more stakes to it. This fight is, would be icing on the cake type of deal, but I don't think it's a bigger fight per se.
Okay. Well, Dan, I can't wait to watch it on UFC Fight Pass. I won't be able to make it to Springfield on the 9th, but I definitely will be tuning in and checking out your fight.
Awesome.
I appreciate the time, especially during fight week. Again, Dan Dubuque meets Nate Ghareeb for the vacant CES featherweight title. Before I do let you go, man, I want to give you the floor. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors you have, please do so. And if you want to plug your social media, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I just thanks to the usual crew, my manager, Carlos Correa, my coaches, Rob Cipriano, Mohamed Lamjadine, Nick Newell, my main training partner, Mike Antidormi, and the rest of my training partners, and that's the same people, man, family, friends, everyone that supports me. I appreciate it. I just have Facebook. It's Dan Dubuque, and that's it, man. Thank you for your time, and hopefully I could come back on afterwards and give you a winning interview.